Guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. We are out ripping around on another electric scooter today. Today I have the pleasure of riding and showing you guys the Navee S65. This scooter goes about 20 miles per hour, maybe a little bit faster depending on the rider. It's got a few different speed modes, which is pretty cool. It's got full suspension, front and the back, so you can rip this thing off-road wherever you please. And it is rocking pretty much street tires, so you can also just stay on the road where it's nice and smooth and cruise that way as well. It's very versatile. Right now we have like a perfect cloud above me blocking the sun, so the lighting at the very moment might be a little dark in the video, but hopefully it's not too bad. So guys, we're going to do what we normally do, which is rip this thing around for a bit. We're going to do some speed tests. We're going to go over all of the specs on it, just kind of everything per usual. We're going to test it out a little more off-road like I am right now. We're going to test it out in the street a little bit more, test the brakes, all that fun stuff, and give you guys my opinion on the scooter. So right off the bat, guys, this thing is one of the bigger scooters I have ridden. I have ridden a handful of these things. Never ridden any of Navee's products yet, but I have ridden a few of the other ones, and so far this is one of the bigger ones I have ridden, that's for sure. The scooter itself weighs about 60 pounds. That's a little bit on the heavier side in my opinion, but it's still pretty light. This thing folds, so you can fold it, throw it in the back of your truck, throw it in the back of your car, whatever you please. 60 pounds isn't really anything to stress about, because at the end of the day, it's still not very heavy. And guys, on a full charge, this thing is going to get you about 40 miles, again, on an entire charge. Now, there are a few different speed modes on this scooter, so it really does depend what mode you're riding it in, how you are riding it, and all that fun stuff, so keep that in mind. The scooter itself also, I believe, has it's like Bluetooth capability to connect to its app, and it will track everything for you. I have not downloaded the app myself, but I believe you have all kinds of really cool settings in it, different things it can track, different places it can take you, things like that. So definitely, if you pick up one of these scooters, link is in the description, and definitely download the app with it as well if you really want to maximize your use on this scooter. All right guys, so now let's take this thing off-road a little bit just to see what it feels like. This is my first time riding this scooter, so this is all first impression. I have not ridden it at all on the street or in the road, so this is literally my very first time on it, which is always fun. And guys, the sun I think is coming out. Get the lighting a little better here, so that's pretty cool. So far I will say this is pretty typical for most scooters. It's not as soft as you would expect out of a dual suspension scooter. But again, that is not just exclusively me saying that for this Navee S65, because I have had other off-road scooters and they're just not gonna have the suspension, the travel, and the smoothness that some of the e-bikes will have. But again, e-bikes have bigger wheels, they're a lot bigger, so it's not really comparable, right? Now, with that also being said, I have ridden scooters that have no suspension on them, like at all, and those suck off-road. So this so far, it is perfectly fine off-road, nice and smooth. You can see right here, if my whole trail I was going on all day was a dirt road, I mean, I'm going full speed right now. I'm going like 20 miles per hour in this dirt over rocks, and there's plenty of ruts that I've hit. Like I said, you are still going to feel them. It is a scooter, not a bike, but it handles them just fine. So it's good to know that you really can take this on or off-road if you please. And now our next thing, guys, as we get back on the road here, I want to do our classic speed test. Here's a little bit of a hill. Yeah, this thing handles it really well, honestly. So far, with everything into consideration, it is a scooter, right? So I would give the suspension a very big thumbs up. It does a great job. You'll see more how it works and how it looks when we do the B-roll in a little bit. But let's go ahead and do our speed tests with the different modes on this scooter. So on the display, to change your mode, you're going to double tap the power button. So right now we are in walking mode. So walking mode right here, guys, is taking me 3 to 4 miles per hour, and this is full throttle, so you quite literally are walking. So if you're just trying to go slow through crowds and you got good balance, slap it on walking and you'll be good to go. We're gonna double tap it up to regular drive mode. Immediately kicks in, so this definitely is gonna go quicker. This is taking us steady 12 miles per hour in just your standard drive modes. This definitely is still just kind of like a go out on the sidewalks, and if you're in like a busy area, this would probably be the speed to use. We're gonna go ahead and double tap it again, put it in sport mode. This is the fastest mode you guys can have on the scooter. And as I mentioned before, guys, this is taking us to 20 miles per hour, which is the top speed. You can see the display on this thing. I really do like it. It's a very nice, sleek display. I haven't seen one like this on any of the other scooters I have ridden. It's really simple. You have your speed mode you're in on top, your miles per hour under that, and then your battery on the bottom underneath that. If you take this and kind of bounce up and down on it, you can definitely feel it has some suspension to it big time. So it does smoothen out your ride a lot. If you're looking for a scooter that has suspension to keep it smooth, this is definitely a good choice because this is a beefy scooter as well. It's got 10-inch tires, which also helps smoothen out the ride. I want to say the deck is just under 8 inches wide. Like, it's a good size scooter. All right, guys, so we're going to pull over and stop right here, get some B-roll shots, and give you guys a rundown of the Navee S65 electric scooter. All right, guys, this is the Navee S65 electric scooter right here. So far, everything on it is very smooth. It feels great to ride around. A good steady pace, 20 miles per hour. I'd like it to go a little bit faster, but that's pretty standard for a lot of these electric scooters. As I did already mention, this thing is going to go about 40 miles on a full charge. It has an 800 watt motor, and it also has a 36 volt 15 amp hour battery, I believe. So it definitely has enough power. Motor is in the back. Like I mentioned, it gets up and goes, really no problem. And so far, all operations are very, very smooth. As I also mentioned earlier, the deck on this thing is, I believe, 7.9 inches wide. I'm not sure the length on it. I'm gonna be honest, it looks like it's at least a couple feet, at least. So you do have a big deck to stand on. It's very comfortable, easy for pretty much all riders to hop on. And the weight capacity on this thing is, I believe, 265 pounds. So it can definitely haul. As I mentioned before, this thing is fully collapsible for moving purposes. You just pull this tab up, pull that down. This is going to collapse just like that. And now it's just a lot easier to throw in your truck, throw in your car. It really fits anywhere at this point. On this side over here, you have your charging port right here. Plug it in, let it charge up. I want to say for me, it was give or take, man, 5-6 hours to fully charge. That was right out of the box. And on that note, out of the box, super easy to assemble. It was basically completely assembled except for these 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4. This top handlebar part, you just got to mount up there, put the screws in, and you're done and ready to ride. Unless you want to fully charge it before your first ride, which is what I did personally. Guys, this thing has a fully functional headlight in the front. You can see here, you just press the power button once. There's a headlight right there. It's very bright at night. It does the trick. And guys, for safety purposes, it does have a really nice integrated reflector on the right side, really nice integrated reflector on the left side, reflector on the front. And along with the headlight, like I mentioned, it has a taillight in the back as well, fully functional, and they are automatic. I believe they're attached to the brakes, and also when you turn the headlight on, I think they are running lights, which is very cool, very helpful, and a good safety feature. Guys, the grips, they have kind of a really basic look to them, but they feel really good. They're kind of more jumbo feeling, like the size of them, but they're very soft and pretty tacky overall. On the front here, you also have a nice little bell. It's nothing crazy, nothing too loud, but it definitely gets the job done. Brake lever is just mechanical, nothing crazy here with the brakes at all, but they do stop the scooter very, very well as you are riding. No issues there whatsoever. And they are fully adjustable here at the bottom with this screw right here. The headlight, guys, is a 2.5 watt headlight, so it definitely has some brightness to it, as I mentioned already. And it is IP55 water resistant as well, for any of you guys wondering. The max incline this thing can take is, I believe, 22%. So it definitely can climb. Again, it's an electric motor on an electric scooter, so you're not going to get any gas power out of this thing, but 22% incline is not bad at all. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the rundown of the scooter. It also has a nice little handy kickstand down here, and this kickstand actually feels really good. As funny as that sounds, it's a very solid feeling kickstand. I like that so far. So let's go ahead and get back on the road here. Actually, let's rip through some of this rough stuff here just to confirm to you guys again that you can really take this wherever you want without having too many issues with it at all. And this stuff right here, this is some ruddy stuff. I mean, it might be hard for you guys to tell, but this whole area is under construction, and there's gravel and dirt and just bumps everywhere, so it handles it nicely. Another thing to keep in mind with this scooter, guys, like most electric scooters, you have to give it a little bit of a bump start, so to say. You can't really just throttle it from a stop. You kind of have to hop on it and give it one push, and then it'll start rolling, if that makes sense. The motor just needs to kick in, so just give it a nice little nudge forward, and it'll start right up for you. And guys, the only other thing I didn't really mention is the thumb throttle on the right side. It feels great, very responsive, nice and smooth, and it does feel very durable as well. Now, my downsides on this scooter so far: one, It only has a brake on the left side, not the right. I'm used to having brakes on both sides. Now going 20 miles per hour, you don't really need more brakes other than just one. So I do see why they didn't put two, because it cuts the cost, and also, like I said, it's kind of unnecessary. So it's hard to call it a complaint, but it's just a personal preference. And another thing that I felt right when I hopped on this thing, because of the way the bars are set up and the offset suspension down there on the wheels, like the bars are offset forward and the front wheels kind of offset. The suspension is offset backwards. It's hard to explain, but the steering felt a little weird at first, but I really did get the hang of it like 2 minutes in. It was just a little bit different feeling. The responsiveness was a little different than what I'm used to, that's all. And guys, with the scooter comes all the tools you need for assembly, the screws you need, and the manual for you as well, along with, I think it comes with warranty. Don't quote me on that. Definitely double check on the website. You can probably add one if it doesn't automatically come with it. But again, assembly of this scooter, very, very straightforward and very simple. So yeah, guys, that is the Navee S65. If you are looking to buy your very own, it is right around the price range of $800 or so. If you'd like to buy your very own, link is in the description, and I will see you guys next time.